Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sally and this is Secret Life of a Seamstress, my channel where I talk all about sewing and making and crafting and all of those things. Thanks so much for joining me today for another video. So today's video is going to be a kind of sewing day in my life, or a day in my sewing life sort of thing. So I have a few things to get done today, a little bit of sewing, a little bit of catching up, possibly a little bit of baking and things like that. So I thought I would film my day and take you along with me. Today it was supposed to start with a dog walk. I was going to take my children to school in the car and then come back and take the dog for a nice long walk. But at the moment it is that horrible sort of fine drizzly rain outside. And yeah, I just couldn't really face that when I got home. So I thought I'd put the walk off to a little bit later in the day. And hopefully the weather will pick up a bit. But I think it is supposed to be like that on and off all day long. So I might just have to grin and bear it and take him out later with my hood up and my wellies on. We shall see. So I really felt like having a day like this today. I've been feeling a little bit kind of under the weather since we've been home from holiday in February half term. I've sort of had this sore throaty kind of under the weather type feeling where you feel like you're getting a cold but nothing has quite come out yet, and I feel as though it's all behind my nose. There's a bit too much information possibly, but if I do sound a little bit croaky today then that will be why. But yeah, I hate feeling like that. I almost feel like feeling like that is worse than the actual cold coming out, so I wish it would just come out and get over with and then I could get back to normal. I'm going to see how it goes. If it carries on then obviously I might need to go to the doctor or something. But anyway, and also I just feel a bit sort of glum, I suppose, and I think it's just because I'm over winter now. I can't wait for spring to come. Filming this, we're just at the beginning of March and we're kind of getting those days where there is glimpses of spring. Some days you wake up and the mornings are really bright and it's really sunny, and I've really noticed that my mood is so much better on those days. So I think I'm just ready for spring now and for some sunshine. And I don't say that for anyone to feel sorry for me, but I say it because I'm sure that there are lots of us feeling that way, especially here in the UK, where at the end of February everything is just kind of grey and a bit miserable, and I just want to sort of get outside and get in the garden and sort the garden out and do things like that. Definitely ready for spring now and ready for spring sewing too. This morning I made a list of a few nice things that I know that I love to do, that I would really like to get done, and some of it is sewing. There's also a little bit of baking that I'd like to get done. I have a book that I've nearly finished that I'd really like to get finished today. So all really nice things, not necessarily worky things, but just things that I enjoy doing. And I know that talking to you all, they're things that you enjoy doing as well. And I thought I would film it as a sewing day in my life because recently I put out a question seeing what kind of videos people would like me to do in the future, or what types of videos people really enjoy seeing, and the sewing day in my life ones came out really high. And I was so pleased about that because I really enjoy filming these videos and I really enjoy editing them as well, because you can kind of put music in and make it all nice and relaxing and things like that. And actually on YouTube, if I'm going to be watching videos, they're generally the type of videos that I like to watch as well. I find them really relaxing. So I really hope that you will enjoy today's video. So I'm going to do a little bit of cutting out first, and I've actually got to cut out my latest Minerva brand ambassador post or project. And for that, so just move my tea out of the way before I knock it over. So for my post this time, I have chosen this lovely cotton jersey fabric. This is another Minerva exclusive cotton jersey, I believe. I will link it below, and it's a navy and white stripe, which I just love. I love anything stripy, particularly in navy and white. So I thought I would pick some of this up. It is a cotton jersey and it's unusual for me to go for a cotton jersey actually. Normally I would go for like a viscose or a bamboo, but I really liked the stripe in this one and I loved, yeah, that it was navy and white. So I have around 1.5 meters of that, I think, and with that I want to make this free pattern which I've been wanting to try for absolutely ages. So this is the Stellanty by French Navy now. It's a free pattern and all you need to do is go onto their website. You can put in your email address and I guess that registers you to all of their communications and things, and then you can download this pattern completely free. So yeah, this is one that I've seen cropping up on Instagram quite a lot, and I kept thinking that I really wanted to try it. You might remember that I have been on the hunt over the last year or so to find the perfect t-shirt pattern, and I know that lots of people highly rate this pattern. So I'm really looking forward to giving that a go. I've put the PDF pattern together, but I haven't cut it out yet, so I'm going to cut out the fabric first so that I'm all ready to go. I have to say that the PDF pattern came together so nicely for this. You know, sometimes when you're putting a PDF pattern together, things sort of go millimeters out here and there, and you're trying to fiddle around and get everything right. This one just came together so nicely, everything matched up really well, and yeah, it was a joy to put together really. So far, loving how that came together. So I've got that to cut out, and then I also have another South Bank dress all cut out and ready to go. So I also want to sew that up. If all goes well, that should be a really quick 1 hour project, but you know what can happen with those kind of projects, they can sometimes go wrong, can't they? And at the moment, I don't really have an overlocker thread that will match this perfectly, but I've got a beige thread already threaded up in my overlocker, so I'm thinking it would be sensible if I just use that for this. Probably the nearest colour that I've got really that will go with this rusty orange colour. And since my overlocker is already threaded up with that, maybe I should just sew that first and get it out of the way. So that might be the first thing after I've cut out. And then, as I said, I do want to do a bit of baking. I have found an amazing baking Instagram page called Jane's Patisserie. And it's possible that I'm very behind, and probably a lot of you follow her already, but I'll put in her Instagram page here so that you can see. I think one of her recipes, she does loads of reels, recipe reels on her page, and they're just so delicious looking. And I think one came up as an ad or something on my feed, and I was really hungry at the time. And they were for these delicious looking, really chunky cookies. So I thought I really must have a go at them. So I had a go at them recently, and they were delicious, and they were really easy to do, and the kids loved them. In fact, everyone that ate them loved them. And I'm not a very good baker, really. I bake easy things, and I like to bake easy things. So when you get a recipe like that, I think it's really nice to have it and to just revisit it. So I really wanted to do that today. So I think later on I will try and bake some of those too, and I'll show you how they turn out. So yeah, hopefully that will be my day. Oh, I forgot to mention as well that later on today I'm actually having a call with Rachel from Stitch and Pearl. Rachel has her own YouTube channel as well called Stitch and Pearl, and she also has a really lovely Instagram page. She's an amazing knitter. You might have seen her on Kirsty's Handmade Christmas at Christmas time, where she was in the Christmas jumper competition, and I think she should have won. But anyway, yeah, we're having a call later, and Rachel is actually interviewing me so that I can be on her YouTube channel. So that's exciting, a little bit nerve-wracking as well. So that's later on this afternoon. So we'll just have to see how it goes and see how much I get done, but I'm just going to try and enjoy what I'm doing. It's raining again outside now, so I'm not quite sure when I'm going to get to go for my walk. Anyway, I'm going to get on and cut out, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. My t-shirt now. Cutting out stripes always takes that little bit longer, doesn't it, because you're trying to put everything on the right stripe. So I find if I'm cutting out something with a stripe, with jersey, I tend to cut it flat rather than on the fold. So you might have seen there from my footage that I tend to make a little mark at the centre front and the bottom of the fold of the pattern, and then I turn it so that you can cut it flat. So that seems to work best for me with stripes, and it just gives a more sort of accurate cut where stripes are concerned, I find. And while I was cutting, I was catching up with Rachel's latest video as well, which was all about a fabric haul and what she's planning to sew. So that was nice for some inspiration while I was cutting out as well. So I've got my overlocker out ready, and I think I'm just going to sew my South Bank dress first and see how I get on with that one. So for the South Bank, it's really nice because you only need the overlocker unless you're going to top stitch down the neckline or anything like that. So before I do some sewing, I thought I would just give you a quick reading update because I did manage to get a couple of books read while we were away on holiday. So I was in that really nice position just before we went on holiday where I'd literally just finished my book that I was reading. And I was ready to start a new book. So in the airport, I just went to WH Smith and picked up 2 books in their buy one get one half price thing. So the 2 books that I got to read on holiday was this one, first of all, and It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. So I'd seen this book around everywhere in like whatever bookshop you went into. This was just on the table at the front of the shop. And I kept seeing it and thinking, that must be a really popular book. I wonder if it's really good. And I'd not read any of her previous books or anything. So I decided to get this one and give it a go. So this is a kind of love story-ish, but it does go a little bit deeper than that, and it deals with some quite difficult issues as well. So even though I found this a really good, easy to read sort of holiday book, I read this in about 4 days, I think, which is quite fast for me. Yeah, it does have a bit of sort of depth to it as well, and I really enjoyed it. Whenever I finished reading a book, I always go onto Goodreads or Amazon or something to look at the reviews and see what other people are saying about it. And this one had mixed reviews. Most people loved it, but a lot of people absolutely hated it as well. So I think it is one, it's personal taste perhaps, but I really enjoyed it, and as I say, it was a really good holiday read. So that was that one. And then as my buy one get one half price book, I got this one, which is called Godmersham Park by Jill Hornby, who's another author that I've not read before. And this one is a little bit different in that it's set in the 1800s. So it's one of my sort of really old-fashioned type books that I really enjoy reading, and it's set in a big house, and it's about a lady or a girl that goes to be a governess in that house and everything that happens to her. And the interesting thing is that it has Jane Austen in it as a character, and I really liked that as well. I'm not sure if what the author's written about Jane Austen in this book is actually true. I'm not sure if there's any truth in it, or if she's just written it into the book. I'm not quite finished with this one actually. I've got about 20 pages left to read, and then there is an author's note at the back. So I guess that kind of might clarify my question about Jane Austen at the end. We will see. So once I've finished my 20 pages of that one, I'm going to go on to The House of Fortune by Jessie Burton, which I've mentioned recently in a video, so I won't go into too much detail about this one, but this is the sequel to The Miniaturist. So I didn't take this one on holiday because it's a lovely hardback and I didn't want to ruin it, and also it's quite heavy. So I'm really looking forward to reading that one as well. If you're reading anything good at the moment, let me know what it is in the comments, because I'm building a list of books I want to read over on Goodreads at the moment. I kind of set myself a goal at the beginning of the year of around 12 books over the year, which is about 1 a month, which I appreciate is a lot less than some people might read, and maybe more than others. But yeah, I'm trying to read a book a month. That's my vague goal, but I'm trying not to put any pressure on myself with it either. But yeah, if I could get to 12 books in a year, then I would be happy. I meant to talk to you about a bit of a fail. So when I came to cut out my South Bank dress in this rusty colour, you might remember from my recent fabric haul that I also had this jersey tubular ribbing stuff that I wanted to make a South Bank top from. So I don't know what I was thinking with this really. I completely underestimated this fabric. So I washed this and dried it and everything, got it out to cut out the top version of the South Bank, and realised that I had massively underestimated how much fabric there actually was in this, in that there really isn't enough to get a South Bank top out of this at all, because the tubular ribbon is actually quite thin. So even though I could have got maybe a back and a front out of it and possibly a neck, there was no way that I was going to get the long sleeves out of it as well. That was a bit of a faux pas. So I was really disappointed about that actually, because I really love this colour. The only thing is with this, it is quite stiff. It's a stiff rib, so I don't know how comfortable it would have been to wear anyway. So now I'm just going to keep this, and I might use it for ribbing on a future sweatshirt or something like that. I could have bought more of this and just made the South Bank top as I was planning to, but I think, well, what I have actually done now is order a different ribbing, a softer cotton jersey ribbing. I couldn't get quite the same colour, which was a shame, but I've gone for a sort of pinky brown instead. So the South Bank top is still on my list, but unfortunately it won't be made from this one. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking with that. It's really silly really, because I should have seen when it arrived how narrow it was, and that should have set a few alarm bells off as to whether or not I would actually get a full top out of that. But never mind, these things are set to try us, aren't they? And I will know in future to check the width of things before I go to cut out. My South Bank is done. That took all of 45 minutes to sew that up, and I'm really pleased that I now have another South Bank in my wardrobe, and pleased to have got that done. As I've mentioned many times in the past, I don't know what it is, but I just tend to put off these quick makes, and it's really annoying. I should just get them done. So I'm pleased that I got that done, and what made me get on with that was actually that the overlocker was threaded up with the right colour. These little things that make me get on with things. But anyway, I'm glad that's done, and I'll probably wear that tomorrow actually, because I'm wearing all of my South Banks so much at the moment. I just find them really cosy, and inside, this is another Minerva furback sweatshirt fabric, and inside it is just really fleecy and really lovely. So a really good one for this time of year. So I think what I'm going to do now is kind of lunchtime, but before I have my lunch, I'm just going to make this cookie batter, because it has to chill in the fridge for a little while anyway. So I'm going to get that made up and done before time runs away with me. I always find that after lunch in the day, or the school day anyway, time just seems to kind of increase speed. So yeah, I just find that after lunch the afternoon just runs away with me. So I'm going to get that done before I have something to eat. But just in case I run out of talking time, before I go and do my cookie batter, I thought I would just give you a little knitting update. So I'm still plodding on with my novice sweater in Drops Air yarn, and all I have left to do on that is just the ribbing on the cuff of the second sleeve. So I'm really excited to get that done now. It's really spurred me on actually thinking about spring knitting projects, and I just wanted to get that one done and finished, because it's quite a wintry knit, and I thought it would be nice to just get that done. I keep thinking about cardigans and things that I want to make. So yeah, it really sped me up. So I'm going to try and get that ribbing finished tonight actually. And then I do have another project. This is a cute one actually. So at the weekend just gone, me and my daughter went shopping. We went to John Lewis, and she spied this knitting pattern. So I don't know if you remember, if you followed me for a while, I've actually knit a couple of these kind of toys. They're knit in a really fluffy yarn that's so fluffy that when it's knit it looks like fabric. And I've made my daughter a panda and a teddy bear in a similar kind of yarn. Anyway, I'll pop in a picture of the other toys that I've made for her here. So she found this rabbit pattern and said would I knit it for her, and I thought it looked really cute, so I thought I would give it a go. So as you can see, you can make larger rabbits, or you can make these little smaller ones here. So she actually wants a smaller rabbit, and she did want the pink one, but unfortunately in John Lewis they only had the white and the brown at the time. So this is the yarn. It's really lovely and soft and fluffy, and as I say, when it's knit it just looks like you're knitting fur almost. So I think I'm going to make a brown bunny with white inside ears. So that will be my next project after I finish my novice sweater. And then after that, I want to knit a cardigan, which I've seen everywhere all around Instagram. Well, not everywhere, but it keeps cropping up for me anyway, and I think that it's so pretty. And it's called the Rosa cardigan by a Long Avec Anna. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. It looks to be a reasonably simple stocking stitch knit cardigan with a really pretty lace design just on the raglan sleeves. I think it's knit slightly differently to what I'm used to, so it might be a little bit of a challenge, but yeah, I just thought if I knit that it would go really nicely with some summer vests and things like that, and dresses for the spring and summertime. So I also picked up in John Lewis this yarn, which is the Sirdar Country Classic yarn. It was about £6 a ball, and it's just a double knitting weight, so a worsted weight, and it's slightly brushed, so it's got a little bit of a fluffy texture to it, and yeah, it just felt really nice, and it was the perfect colour. So it's not completely white, it's got a sort of pinkish beige to it, so I thought that would go really nicely with quite a lot of other things that I already have. So I'm really excited to start that one as well after I finish my novice cardigan, or novice jumper I should say, and also that little bunny as well. And then I also really want to knit another Whitmore cardigan, and I have in my head that I really want a mustard colour of that. I haven't found the right colour of yarn yet, and I don't really want to buy it online because it's so hard to get the right colour ordering online, isn't it? So I think I'm going to go somewhere else, I'm not sure where, and see if I can actually shop for some mustard yarn in person. But anyway, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I think I'm going to do the Long Avec Anna cardigan first, and then probably my Whitmore after that, because unlike sewing projects, I can't have more than one knitting project on the go. So yeah, I need to have one thing at a time to concentrate on.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy we go, easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb.
Morning. So it's the next day now, and yesterday, as predicted, did kind of run away with me, but I did end up going for a nice walk after I had spoken to Rachel, which was really nice. I just find that dog walking, even in the worst weathers, it just really helps to clear my head, and I thought I'd just pop in a couple of podcasts that I've been listening to on my dog walks recently. I'm really enjoying listening to podcasts at the moment, and I'm finding them really relaxing to listen to when I'm walking. So I thought I'd just pop in a couple just in case they're relevant or interesting to anyone else. So last night I ended up sewing up my t-shirt, but quite late at night, and I completely forgot to film any of the sewing process. So I'm sorry about that, but you've probably seen enough of me sewing anyway yesterday. But here's my finished French Navy now Stellan tee. So this came together really nicely. It's just a normal t-shirt construction really, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. The only thing I'd say is that next time I will size up. So I actually went for the smallest size based on my body measurements and the finished garment measurements. I thought I'd have quite a lot of ease there. But yeah, it has come up quite fitted, so I think because I tend to prefer a more oversized fit, next time I'll probably size up just to the next size, and I think that will work nicely. The neckband on this was actually quite tight to fit in, so I feel as though it could do with another press around the neckline actually, because it is bunching up a little bit, but I do like this little detail at the back here. So it has a neckline casing that you can put in if you want to, you don't have to. But I've always wanted to try finishing a neckband with this method actually, so it was really good to give that a go, and I think it does just make it that little bit neater. I think I probably could have done a bit of a neater job on that, but nonetheless it does look better than just having an overlocked finish to it. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how that comes together. So I need to photograph this and write it all up and put it on my Minerva profile, but hopefully by the time you're watching this video that will all be done. So I will link my Minerva profile down below if you do want to pop over and read my full write-up. And I also have on my South Bank dress, which I'm really pleased with. I do like this colour actually, and it feels really super cosy and nice and warm to wear again. So really pleased to have got those two things sewn up. I had a really nice busy day yesterday, but it was full of things that I really enjoyed doing. I'll link in the description as well Rachel's channel so that you can pop over and see our chat if you want to, which will be up on her channel in the not too distant future, I think, if it's not up already. It was really nice to chat to her, all things crafting and knitting and sewing, so I'll pop that link below as well. And of course, as always, I will link anything that I've talked about or shown in the video today. So thank you so much for watching everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And if you have enjoyed the video, please do give it a like as well. Have a lovely day everyone. I'll be back next week with another video and I'll look forward to seeing you then. Bye.